Welcome everyone. We're gonna start the lecture tonight on a Middlegame, and I picked the first game to game over to start with. Is the game Deep Blue Computer versus Kasparov, and then there will be a couple of other examples. So we're not gonna spend too much time on the opening, and I want to get to the Middlegame, from where I want you to try to find the best moves in the Middlegame, and I will help you, of course. So E45. So we have which opening is this? Yes? Lopez. So Raul Lopez opening. We have Kasparov is playing with the black pieces. This game was played in 1997. Back then computers were not as strong as right now. I think almost last 10 years they no longer have these matches because computers are too strong right now to play against the humans. So that's why before it was really big. I mean, Kramnik played a match, Kasparov had a couple of matches, and it was really big, and there were really big prize funds in these matches. You know, players would earn like around $1 million playing these computers. But nowadays, I guess no one really wants to put money on these events because they just machines are just too strong. Right now they play. Recently there was the match between Komodo Engine and Hikaru Nakamura, where Engine was giving him a couple of moves, you know, odds. So Hikaru had a couple of extra moves. In one game he was up a exchange, in one game he was up a pawn, and even with the odds he still lost the match. 3 draws and a win for Komodo. And several other top grandmasters tried to defeat it, and again, no success. Even with those odds right now, it's very difficult for the humans to defeat the machine. So that shows how strong the engines are nowadays. So let's get to the crucial moment. So okay, sort of theory. This is very standard. The knight transfer on G3. White is a little bit better, but black is also very solid here. Now D5, the first move. Engine goes D5, deep blue. It's a good move in my opinion because it's gaining space and also entering to the black's territory. The first 4 ranks is for white, the other 4 is for black. So pawn on D5 is already entering to his territory and gaining what? That is very important, yes? Gaining a tempo, excellent. Besides the tempo, for a long term, what does he have for a long term? Space, right? He is gaining space advantage. Knight E7, Bishop E3. You know, you could tell by just looking at the position that white is already slightly better because he has space advantage. Thanks to the D5 pawn, his pieces have a little bit more room. But black is very solid, no weaknesses. So engine goes queen 2, and here knight H7. Basically what knight H7, it's unclear what black really trying to do with this move. Perhaps it was better to just play queen C8 here. And just continue with queen B7. And rook EB8, just to stay put. So Kasparov tried knight H7 here and A4. What white is going to try to do here, he's going to try to open up the A file and gain an A file to try to have some advantage. So this is the start where basically computer starts to improve his position to have some advantage. So he starts out with A4, knight H4, knight H4, queen H4, some liquidations, and now queen E2, putting some pressure on B5 and also creating a threat of bishop D3 that is coming up to put some pressure on B5. Now he has to go back because he doesn't have another way to protect B5. So queen also on H4 not doing anything. There is no prospects to attack. Now see, he had to go back now. This is the problem. Kasparov lost some tempos, and now b4. Putting pressure on c5. Queen c7. Rook ec1. In some point, white may be even trying to play c4 here to x-ray the queen. So he goes c4. And now position is getting close. And now this is the position I want you to think. Try to spend a little bit of time and find a good plan here. Constructive plan here for white to try to get the control. How can he try to get the control of the open file? Huh? How can he try to get the control of that open file? Let's think about it. How can he achieve that? Huh? Achieve that control. Long-term plan for the engine here. So he can try to put pressure. Yes?
So you set up your rooks on a3 and a2, set your queen on a1?
It's absolutely, that's what he's trying to do. First he's going to line up the rooks, and if he needs some more power, then he will bring the queen into the game as well. Absolutely. Rook a3, and rook here coming here. Okay, now there's some problems with AB, rook a7, so he goes the move queen d8, just trying to defend. And now a stunning move because you may think that white is just going to concentrate now playing on the queen side, right? But that's what engines are, very strong at. At any given moment, they could have another unexpected idea from this other side of the board. And that's what he did exactly here. Yes. Yes. F4. Exclamation mark now. He's playing on both sides of the board. That's a strength of a very strong player, that he's not too focused on one side of the board, and he's trying to create counterplay from the other side as well. So F4 is coming to put some serious pressure, okay? To put some very serious pressure on E5. Now he goes here. Knight F6, F takes E5, F takes E5, and now he played the move Queen F1. Knight goes back on D6, that's what he's trying to do, Kasparov. Now Queen F2. Perhaps here engine should have played Queen F2 immediately. But the position is closed and black doesn't have that many other different plans. So that's why even wasting a tempo is not that crucial. Bishop B6, Queen E8. Now he just sits. Rook 3A2. In some point he's going to take on an A file. He's just waiting for the right moment. Black cannot do anything. This is the worst thing for a player, to be in a position where you have no active plan. You just have to wait, sit. Sit to see how opponent is improving the position. Bishop E7, Bishop C5, activating the dark square bishop. See, he's just sitting, nothing else he can do. And now Knight F5 comes in. Now he is activating the knight. Bishop takes F5. The problem taking back with the knight is after E takes F, this bishop is going to sit on E4 here, and there's some D6 ideas, so it's going to be a lot of pressure. Okay? Bishop takes F5, pawn takes F5, F6. This is the only way to prevent black from playing F6 himself, to break through and open the position. So that's the idea, to prevent F6. And now, difficult decision, but let's see if you can find it. Spend a couple of minutes here and try to find the best idea here for white. You need to find a way to break through. But how? You have the pair of the bishops, but we know that sometimes in a closed positions, knights are more effective than the bishops, right? So never be too attached to your pieces, because sometimes even the piece that looks good maybe needs to be exchanged, for example. Okay? So it's very important that you don't get attached, okay, to your pieces too much. Okay? All right. Anybody else? Let's see. Okay, we have two people. Let's give a little bit more time because it's a crucial moment. One inaccurate decision and you might lose most of your advantage here. So that's why you have to think here. You cannot just say one move. And if you're gonna say the answer, please have a plan, not just a move. Okay? I need a constructive plan here, not just a move. Now, because black was maybe trying to play e4 at some point to get some activities. Yes, what's the move here? Bishop takes d6, correct? Bishop takes d6, and now which move? Technically speaking, you can do that, but how about we blockade that pawn first, so we don't have to worry about it, okay? How about we blockade that? Is that a possibility? Yeah, so we just stop the counterplay first, right? He took, and put the bishop on e4, okay? That way, now he will have the a file now, and he will have a strong bishop on e4. Takes, and look at that. Who has the a file now? White has. And black has absolutely no counterplay in this position. And now white is going to try to activate his pieces. Queen d7 by Kasparov. And now, where do we go? Queen a7. Initiate the exchange because b5 pawn is going to be weak. Rook c7. Queen b6. Getting ready now to activate the rook. Queen b7. Check. Queen a6. It's amazing. You will see in some point now computer is going to make a mistake. And the current computers would never make a mistake like this. Current computers will show here white is already winning, +5 or +4. But you'll see he makes a mistake here. You have a question? Queen what, sorry? Yeah, well, if you trade queens, you're going to drop that b5 pawn eventually. So that's why, if let's say you take, right? I take, so the problem is your light squares are very weak too. So you have absolutely no counterplay now, and I even have ideas of getting the king in here. So the problem is you're just going to be very passive, okay? So that's why he didn't want to do that. So he went here, check, rook is in, queen a6 is correct, queen c7. Now he goes queen here, threatening mate on e8, queen b6 check, and here. And now he makes a move that allows a counterplay, question mark. It's amazing, this is a very famous game here. Computer now made a mistake, okay? Computer made a mistake in this position, okay? Computer made a mistake, and Kasparov actually resigned 2 moves later, missing a chance to draw the game. So it's very interesting. He missed a chance to draw, okay? So let's see now. It's your turn now. What do you think is the best move here? What do you think is the best move here to try to win this position for white first? Let's try to figure out the best way to play here. The queen is checking. You have a couple of options. Move the king, exchange the queen, so you have to figure out what you're going to do now. Well, that was the hard part. And even engine made a mistake, yeah? It's unbelievable, yeah, that the computer made a mistake, at that time. This was almost 20 years ago, actually, 19 years ago. So the engines were just starting out, sort of, so they weren't us. Yes? Which move? That's what the engine played. The correct move here actually is king h1. Okay? Because now, if the queen's exchange occurred, then c6 pawn is very strong. White should be able to win this. If rook b8, just simply rook a6. And black can try to activate, but here just simply take. And now rook goes back, protecting the back rank. Now check, and checkmate on g7 cannot be stopped, okay? It just simply cannot be stopped. If there's a check on e1, I just go king h2. So it just the position cannot be protected. All right? So that's why he should have played king h1. The computer went king f1, and now rook b8 was played. And it's amazing. After rook a6, Kasparov resigned, thinking, okay, I have to exchange queens, and okay, this is absolutely correct. It's just hopeless because rook a7 is coming, bishop is coming here, c7, king will come in. It's a problem. Okay? That's a real problem here. Okay? Queen takes c6, it's a real problem. But what move did he miss here? He probably didn't miss the move. He just thought there is just nothing. So, but what he should have done here before resigning, he should have gone for it anyway here. What do you think? When you're losing, you should never resign. You should just try to make the most active move anyway, because maybe there will be some kind of perpetuals or something. So what is the move here? The most active move here for Kasparov that he should have done. Even if he loses, it's fine. Yes? Correct. So he should have played the move queen e3, right? He probably saw that. Queen takes d6, losing the bishop. And he thought, okay, if I give a check, he just goes here. He probably just looked at the check. He goes here and check. Basically, the king will slowly run out, you know. Here, perhaps. Something like this. But instead, here he could have played the move queen d6, rook e8. Very powerful move. And now he's threatening to win the bishop. And if bishop f3, check, king f2, and apparently here there is no way to avoid the perpetual. Unbelievable, because there's no way to avoid it. Okay? So bishop e1, check, check, check again, check, again check this way, huh? Because if he goes here, you need to have a check here. See, don't check from here, because if you check from here, then he hides. You don't have any more checks. So you have to know from where to check. So queen is, once again, we see queen is a very tricky piece, and always have these chances to do a perpetual, okay? So never resign too early. Play until the very end, because you never know, there might be a possibility for you. Your question?
So when king is on h2 and queen is on f4, can we play g3 and then hide our
You could, but the problem is now your king is very exposed. You're not mating me right now. If you were mating me, yeah, but you're not mating me here. Check, I go here. The problem is you're not mating me here. Okay? If you were mating me, yeah, you could, but there is no mate here. You're going to go here, yeah, you're going to try to mate me on here, but the problem is I'm going to be in time to give you the perpetual. Check, 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 check. So amazing, yeah? Computer makes a mistake, allows Kasparov to come back, and then he just missed that he perhaps could have still drawn with the queen e3 move here. This is a very important idea, okay? Just queen is, again, once again, we see queen is a very strong piece. And by itself, she can try to just give a lot of checks and force a draw. Okay, I have one more example for you about open file. I want to show you this position and see if you can find the correct plan. This is the game played by Capablanca, okay? This is played in 1929, Capablanca Treybal game, and it's white to play and find a way to win, to break through here, okay? As you can see, position is very close. They haven't even exchanged one pawn. In fact, they've only exchanged two minor pieces each, a bishop and a knight. So, but let's think of a plan, okay? What kind of plan you have here to try to win this game? Yeah, managed to win this very nicely. In fact, if you don't have this one particular plan, then I think your position looks great, but you're not going to be able to win this game. Okay? So it looks great, but you are not going to be able to break through.
White to move.
White to move, correct. White to play and knight to need to find a winning plan here. One suggestion for you is when you see a locked and closed position like this, always think about the breakthroughs. Okay? Think about what you're going to do to make a breakthrough. Okay? Look for a potential breakthroughs. Okay? So that's something to remember, okay? Aha, correct, yes. That's what Capablanca did, because you know, even if you lose the pawn, you go rook b1 next move and you will take it. There's no way he will be able to hang on to the pawn. So the correct move here is b5. The reason you want to keep this here because you're putting pressure, and that's going to make it difficult for him to switch back to defense. So now he takes your pawn, okay? And now very important intermediate move you need to play here. Very, very important intermediate move you need to play. Because if you take, you know, it's also going to be probably okay for you, but this move is very important because that way you're going to push his pieces to the back rank and they're going to be just blocking each other. So what can you do here first? Yes?
H6 check.
Bravo, correct. H6 check. This is called intermediate check, okay? Intermediate check before capturing in between check. Now he has to go here, and only then you take. Because now if he takes pawn this way, what do you have here? C6, correct. Discovery check. Discovery check and winning the bishop. So he played king e7. What do you play now? Now this is an important moment here because you have a good position, but he's ready to go rook a8. He's ready to go rook a8 and kind of kick your queen away and try to hold it. So this particular move is very important to play here. Not a very natural move, actually. Not a very natural move to play here. Yes?
Rook a1.
Yes, rook a1 is possible. Rook a1 is definitely a possibility, but then he will play something like rook b8. Rook b8, rook c8, and then queen d8, and he will stay put, at least. I want to stop that. I don't want his rook to get to the b8 here. Yes? Correct. b6. Locking the position, but now you're going to have this outpost on the 7th rank. b6, excellent job. Queen b8. And now, these rooks no longer have anything to do here, right? So they're going to come where? Open file. Remember, rooks belong on an open file. So remember that. Rook a1. Rook c8, Queen b4, Rook h d8, Rook a7, King f8, and now this rook needs to be back, Rook h1. Look how Capablanca is maneuvering his pieces. Now he controls the a file as well. King g8, Rook 1 to a4, King f8, Rook to a3, I'm sorry, Queen to a3, and now it's a battery, yeah, here he's setting up. And now basically he needs to find a pawn. He went back and forth a little bit. He played King g3, Bishop d7, King h4. I don't know really why. I think he was just trying to make the time control or something. That's what it looks like, at least. King h4, King g3, Bishop d7, King h4, King h8. Now Queen a1, King goes back to g8, King g3, King f8. Okay, so they reach this position after some shuffling. Sometimes players, they just make these moves to make the time control, for example. And now the plan. What is the plan here? He could have made this earlier, but you just need to find this particular plan here, and you will be winning the game. And think a little bit. It's not so obvious, this plan, okay? But this is your winning plan. And he saw this. He was just shuffling around his pieces a little bit there. And you'll see why he put the king here. It was very important to king to be here. Otherwise, there could have been some tactical ideas, tactical shots like knight g5. So here he's simply trying to avoid those. Bravo, you found the winning plan. Yes, this is the winning plan, everyone. And this is the target. Knight will arrive to a5, and black is not going to be able to defend against this. So he simply went knight d2, bishop d7, knight b3. He's trying to regroup, so he at least can try to defend somehow with knight d8. But for a moment it looks like he managed to do that, yeah? He managed to successfully defend, but it only looks like, because now you have a very strong move here. Let's see who will see this move. Very powerful move. And now position is going to collapse. You just have too much space advantage here. Look at this. This pawn is very strong. This pawn, too much space. He can barely move his pieces. They all shuffled back on a back rank because he's got no space. And you have a space advantage, okay? So let's see now, how are we going to do it? Okay. Think, don't rush, don't rush. Try to see the good move. This was a very important move for this position. You need to realize that there is a piece now for black that is hanging. Okay, there is a piece right now for black is hanging, and you might be able to do some kind of tactical idea to take advantage of it. Okay, to take advantage of it. Okay. Well, okay, you. Knight to b7. That's what you're suggesting too. That's a good move. But what about the better one, huh? What about the better one? Who has the better one? No, wait, think. Don't guess now. Don't guess now. Remember the rules, yeah? When you see a good move, Look for a better one. Who has the better move here? No, rook to a8, queen takes a8. Correct answer. That's what he did. That's what Capablanca did. World champion number 3, right? Bishop a6. Very powerful move. Now black cannot defend this pawn. And if he captures d7, bishop is hanging. Along with h7 pawn is hanging. Your rook is going to be very powerful here. So he had to take no choice. Now you take here. Now threatening to take this. He goes rook e7. And now finishing touch. The finishing touch here. Let's see who can find it quickly, though. This one you have to find quickly. Raise your hand if you have this one. Yes? Correct answer. Bravo. Rook takes d8, check, eliminating the guard, deflecting the defender, and then knight c6 is, I believe, very pretty fork, yeah? And then you also take the a6 pawn, and you're completely winning. All right? Okay, very good. Another middle game position we saw. How to break through, okay? Close position, how to break through. It's very, very important to remember, okay? I would like to do one more position, okay? And so you can see how to play in a position like this. So in this position, white has a very minimal advantage. And this is a position played by a Grandmaster Artur Yusupov. And very minimal advantage here we see for white. Okay, let's think about this. This is a Yusupov game from 1988 against, I'm not sure the title of his opponent, but so look at the position. It looks like black is doing not that bad, right? I mean, 6 pawns each. Let's spend a couple of minutes to try to evaluate the position, first of all. What is the evaluation of this position? White. Well, it's very important whose turn is it, because if it's black to move, black will play rook d8 and there's nothing. White, white doesn't have anything. So it's all about this theme we're working on today. It's open file, okay? So open file, how to take advantage of it in the middle game, and also this last example is an endgame position. So okay, so who can tell me the evaluation of this position? Meaning who is better, and give me some reasons why. Yes? White is slightly better, right? Why? You can over the T file. Okay, that's black to move, then it's equal, yeah? Yeah, equal. But there's one more thing I like you to mention about the position, besides the file. There is something that white has that black doesn't have. Sometimes when you need to figure out who is better, you look at the pawn structures, okay? So let's look at the pawn structure here. Look at white structure and black structure. What is the difference in the structure?
White has a majority on the queen side.
That's what I wanted to hear. Okay, is that what you were trying to say? Okay, good. So white has queen side majority. What is majority, everyone? Everyone understand what is majority in this kind of positions? When you have extra pawn on one side of the board. Black has a king side majority, but usually king side majority, it's very rarely you can do anything with this, okay? But queen side majority, it's very direct. I can just go b4, c5, then I have a passed pawn. I have the majority, okay? So, but it's not about the majority right now. What is the most important thing white should do here? Rook to d1, of course. Control the file. That's what he did. Queen d3, g6. Black is okay, very solid still, right? You don't have a way to make progress here unless you play this particular move. This move is very important for you to play because his queen is very annoying. Anytime he's going to jump in here and start attacking. So his queen is actually a very good piece here. It's a piece that you want to sort of eliminate. It's a very strong piece here, the queen. So what are we going to do to eliminate this queen here? Queen to d7, interesting suggestion. But that move allows queen a3, unfortunately. Now we have to do some defensive work. So what else we can do? That prevents that, correct. Correct decision. Queen d6, rook e8, black plays. Now queen d7, because you can no longer go queen here because the e8 is hanging, so he goes king f8. Dubious move, by the way. And now he was trying to exchange the queens, but now, since black played a little bit dubious with this king, rook e8, king f8, he changed his mind. And now he's going to keep the queen and he's going to try to get in with the rook to the 7th rank, thanks to this particular move here that he has. Yes?
Queen
d4. Queen d4, king g8. He'll go back. So that's why it's not going to do that much. Absolutely queen a4, correct, yes. Because he can no longer go rook d8 because after the exchange, you're going to pick up this pawn. And now what is your threat here? Rook on a 7th, right? Everybody should remember, rooks belong in endgame where? On a 7th rank. That's just like a rook. So remember that. Rooks belong on a 7th rank. Okay? Yes? Now, queen a4, so he played a5. What else he can try to do, correct? And now, everybody, rook belongs where? On the 7th. There you go. Now he goes queen c5. He says, you know, I'm not going to just give up that easily. Some rook e7 ideas he wants to do. And now black queen has been active here, okay? Got kind of activity here. When opponent has an active piece, what do? Trade it. Yes. Who can find a good trade here for white? Good trade that will help him to win this game. Good trade. Good trade here. Queen is actively placed. Yes? Excellent move. Very good job. Yes, queen b5, exchanging the queens. And now he took, and now this b6 pawn is very weak. Rook wants to go behind it, okay? And win the pawn, simply. So he played rook c8, trying to get active. The passive defense is not going to be successful because after a4, let's say black is just sitting here, right? You just simply bring the king in if he is just sitting. Okay, he goes here, you go here. Passive defense never works in the rook endgame, remember that, okay? Almost never works. He breaks through, he's still sitting, he breaks through, and then he will just push his pawn and queen, okay? So remember, when the rook endgame, you never want to play passively. That's what also player with the black piece is trying to do. He tried to get active with rook c8. You know, he tried to go here, but the problem for him is he's just going to lose 2 pawns. I mean, he's just going to be able to... White is going to have 2 connected passed pawns, basically. That's what's going to happen here. So if he goes down here, white plays a4, rook b2 just picks up this guy, then he comes here, picks up this guy, and 2 connected passed pawns usually decide the outcome of this game. So he tried to get, this a4 in to get some activity, but then simply capture. Rook to c4, capture. And what is the winning move here for white? What is the winning move? Yes? Absolutely, rook a6. Offering the exchange of the rooks. In that particular case now, this pawn cannot be stopped. Okay? So, and if the exchange didn't occur, so let me show you how to win this kind of position. So you know, when you have 2 connected passed pawns, you just have to push them, but you have to push them that way so you don't lose any of them, okay? So you push, he's sitting, you push, right? Now you go 1 square up, you push. I don't know what, he does this, you just go up here, you don't want any pawn wedges, or something like that here. So he sits, you push, and you queen. Okay, 2 pawns cannot be stopped with the rook unless, you know, if even if his king comes closer, he still cannot stop it. So it's just a trivial win if you play it. Okay, very good. Questions? Anybody has questions? You see, initial position didn't look anything that special, you know. You may even think that grandmasters may agree to a draw here because it just kind of looks dry, you know. But no, it's just, you know, you slowly improve the position. And then you're going to have a comfortable position. So that's what you want to try to do. Never agree to a draw. If you have the open file, use it and improve your position. Okay. Yes. So even in a small advantage positions, you play until the end and try to find plans where you can try to improve your position to the maximum, where all your pieces are going to be active. One more thing here I want to show you. If he gives you a check here, you go back to b4. Never block the pawn, okay? Never block the passed pawn. He goes here, king c5. Now he sits, and now you push. Usually your passed pawn reaches the 6th rank. That's game over, okay? And now you go here. Passed pawn on the 6 is just too much for him. He could have tried to get active this way, but now you win because of the famous, you know, building the breach idea, right? You simply get here, first of all. You get here. Oops, sorry. He goes here, and now, well, actually, yeah, you don't even need that. You just go here. If black tries to go here, then you start collecting several pawns and winning the game. Okay? All right, very good. So we looked at a couple of games by 2 world champions. First game was a Deep Blue versus Kasparov, where Engine made a mistake and Kasparov resigned in a position that was drawn. And the second one, we saw the Capablanca game. And then we saw the Yusupov game, where it looked like absolutely equal position, but he managed to slowly improve the position and win. It really, the initial position, it doesn't look that bad at all for black. It looks like he played solidly. I mean, he against a strong grandmaster, he equalized. But slowly white improves. And again, the main reason is because he can get the control of the open file. Okay, so the topic of today's lecture was on open files. In all the games, we saw that how important was to have the open file. In the first game, where computer had the A file, in the second example, where Capablanca had the A file, and the third example today, where Grandmaster Yusupov had the D file. Okay, okay. Thank you for everyone for attending this class, and look forward to seeing you on Thursday.